You rent a small studio uptown. It's cozy, familiar, still. Everything seems right, but every time you blink, something is off. A chair shifts a few inches, a crack appears in the ceiling that wasn't there. A photo frame tilts just a little more each day. You start documenting everything. Photos, notes, even measuring tape. You check timestamps, compare angles, but the evidence never matches what you remember. You know things have changed. You feel it, but nothing proves it. Then one night you blink, and the door is gone. You stumble back. In a panic you rush to the bathroom, turn on the light, stare into the mirror, and then he winks, but you didn't. You freeze. Your reflection copies everything else perfectly, but you saw it. He moved first. You laugh. It's a trick of the mind. Sleep, stress, shadows, right? But it happens again, and again, and then he smiles before you do. You start covering the mirror at night, but now, when you blink, your furniture moves faster, the walls seem closer. At night, the room feels like it's holding its breath. You try not to blink. René Descartes, one of the most influential Western philosophers, spent his entire life questioning the human experience. He didn't just ask, "What do I believe?" He asked, "How do I know what I believe is even true?" He looked around and realized something strange. Most of what he believed came from his senses, what he saw, heard, touched, tasted, or smelled. But he knew that our senses often trick us into seeing what we want to see, not always what actually is. He asked, how do we know what's real? How do we know that we're not living in a dream? Or worse, trapped in an illusion of someone else's making? To find the answer, he took an extreme left turn. He decided to doubt everything and start over, to clear away anything that might be wrong, and try to build knowledge from the ground up. He wanted to know what we can really trust, not just believe, but know without any doubt. This became known as the method of doubt, a process where Descartes questioned every single thing he thought he knew, and he started with the most obvious, the physical world. The human experience is sensory first. We see, smell, hear, taste, and touch our way through life. These are the tools we use to build our reality. Without them, we'd be floating through a complete unknown. Except, these tools aren't perfect. In fact, they mess up a lot. Have you ever felt your phone vibrate, only to check your pocket and find it empty? Or been sure someone called your name, so you turn around and there's no one there? Our senses can be wrong. Thinking on his past, Descartes wrote, "Whatever I have up till now accepted as most true and assured, I have gotten either from the senses or through the senses. But from time to time I have found that the senses deceive." A pencil in a glass of water looks bent, but when you take it out, it's straight. It's the trick of the light called refraction. The sun looks tiny in the sky, even though we know it's enormous. You remember leaving your keys in the bowl, but you're wrong. They're on the kitchen counter where you left them. Even our own memories lie to us. And it is prudent never to trust completely those who have deceived us even once. And if your senses, your only tools for accessing reality, can fool you once, how do you know they're not fooling you all the time? You can't. We cannot completely trust our senses, or our experience through them. The problem goes deeper than a bent pencil or missing keys. The world is not how we perceive it. Our perception isn't a clear window into reality. It's a filter, messy, imprecise, easily tricked. Like a stained glass window, shaped by memory, emotion, expectation and biology. For example, you're looking at the moon. When it's low on the horizon, it looks huge. When it's high in the sky, it looks tiny. But the moon doesn't change size. It's an illusion created by the way our brains process distance and scale. Standing by train tracks, the rails look like they meet in the distance, but they don't. It just seems that way because of how our eyes and brain work together. If our basic experience of the world is flawed, then how much of what we think we know is actually just an illusion? If we can't trust our senses, then we can't trust the world our senses present to us. We can't be sure that the colours we see are real, we can't be sure that the sounds we hear aren't distorted, we can't even be sure that we're seeing the same reality as the person next to us. If we want to be sure about anything, we must find something that cannot be doubted. Our senses just aren't reliable enough to make the cut. In this episode, we've seen how Descartes began his search for truth by doubting the senses. In the next episode, we're going to go a step deeper. What if it's not just our senses that are unreliable? What if we're dreaming right now, and everything we believe about this world is inside our own mind? Descartes thought of this too, and his answer might be even more disturbing.